ready. This is going to be exciting.
Yeah, they got coverage, starts up to go. Green flag is out and we're underway.
Just a few laps into this. Oh, the 37's getting loose. Oh, and he saves it. Oh, they're going 3 wide.
We've got a 5-way fight for the win of this race coming to 4 laps to go. He's gonna win it here in spectacular fashion.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, the time has arrived. Regular season finale of the Lincoln Tech IndyCar Series here with Goat Locker, Nashville Super Speedway. We got the fiddles out, got the steel guitars. Get ready to play a little bit of interesting music for you, all at well close to 200 miles an hour. You're going to see it all live here tonight on V-Speed. Good evening, folks. I'm the redneck announcer, Jake Reeves. Obviously, my good buddy, Daniel Cunningham, co-commentate with me tonight. And Double L, our good buddy, Daniel's kid, doesn't claim him or however you want to look at it. Lucas Lyons up there in production. Daniel, I have no idea where the hell I went with that. But, Daniel, how are you doing, sir? Long Beach was a wild one from what we had last week. Now we're back to, I guess you could say, mine and your bread and butter back here on the oval at Nashville Super Speedway. Good evening, sir.
Doing good. Yeah, we're back to the left turns. No more squiggles this week. Back to the ovals that you and I know a little bit better. Should be a good one. You had mentioned it, hitting 200 miles an hour here, something that we don't see in the stock cars. And yeah, I'm just curious to see how these things are going to handle out there tonight.
Yeah, I mean, I've already watched a couple of them running around in practice and qualifying. Hit 23.8s right there. Eddie Smith right now at the point. Up at the top of the leaderboard. And speaking of points, do want to mention about those points is we'll check them out right here. Regis Clark got about 18-point gap over Tyler Justice. Eddie Smith back there in third. Brandon Evans, doesn't look like Brandon Evans in the field. He was the Retro 87s for the Cruising Classics Retro 87 Series. He won that championship last night here on V-Speed. Regis Clark, Tyler Justice, battle for 1 and 2 right there, Daniel. Do you think there's any possibility that Tyler Justice can be able to catch Regis Clark?
I think with the field size we have tonight that Regis does have the championship wrapped up. The only thing that I'm not 100% sure on is these guys do have a drop week that they can use. And so the points that they score tonight, if it's their lowest total, they may end up getting more with the way the drop weeks work if this is the race that they drop tonight. So I'm not going to say it's 100% out of the equation, but I think Regis has got a pretty good grasp on this thing here tonight.
We'll see how that ends up working out real quick. See if we can flip up a track map just so everybody knows kind of what we're looking at for Nashville Super Speedway. Lebanon, Tennessee. I've never been there. Honestly, I've never been there. I've been to Nashville Fairgrounds, if that's even damn close to it. 1.3 miles, concrete all the way around this place. 14 degrees on the turns, 9 degrees on the front. Daniel, what's going to be the key here tonight at Nashville Super Speedway to at least finish up there where Eddie Smith is on the pole?
I think it's going to be you just got to go where they ain't. I mean, we've seen with the oval races before how dirty air affects these cars, but it seemed like some of the drivers thought that second, third groove might come in. A couple of them in pre-race thought it might be bottom dominant, so have to see how that plays out, what grooves are available to these guys tonight.
There you see it, Nashville Super Speedway. Real quick, let's get you out for the starting grid. Real quick to show you the race analysis. 120 laps, pit road speed limit 45 miles per hour. Remember, Patrick Javitt, J.B. Barkus, they foot the bill on the tires. 2 green-white checkers, and we're looking at 47 to 50 laps on this 120-lap sprint. Real quick, let's go through the grid here tonight. There's 12 of them. I'll call it off real quickly as Eddie Smith on the pole, 23.8 to his outside, the 27 of Jake Ellingson. Tyler Justice, Regis Clark, 1-2 in the points. They're going to start 3rd and 4th, respectively, here tonight. Jason Christen, J.V. Lemke, 5th and 6th. David Calvert, pretty good run for him last night at Old Atlanta in the 87 series. Finished 3rd last night. He'll start 7th tonight with Corinne Smith starting at 8th. Nathan Graham, good little finish for him last week at Long Beach. He's going to have to start 9th tonight. Devin Smith rounds out the top 10. Logan Thrickhill, Santa out there starting 11th. Ricky Sish Jr. in 12th. And I was fixing to do a Jam Pretty Promotions read, but piss on it. Here we go. Green flag is in the air. We're rocking and rolling. Nashville Super Speedway. Eddie Smith, gas is up. Inside, Ellingson outside, Justice Clark. That's how they run off turn 2.
And Barney had that flag ready to wave here. See, they are still 2 by 2 as they go down the back straightaway. Eddie Smith with a slight lead. Jake Ellingson looking to the outside. I said dirty air, clean air, whatever you want to call it, might be a factor. These guys are still running 2 by 2, trying 3 wide. Eddie Smith leads the first lap over Jake Ellingson.
Boy, and they are going through these laps in a heartbeat. Absolutely fast pace. Eddie Smith leads up Ellingson, gets a draft all the way down to the bottom of the racetrack. Right behind him, Regis Clark trying to hold on to 3rd. He's got Justice behind him with Kristen back there as well as Calvert. Now Ellingson, he'll jump to the front. Here comes Smith with the draft. Boy, howdy, they are absolutely moving at Nashville Super Speedway.
Yeah, Eddie got just an insane run down that front straightaway. Takes the lead, 2nd place under fire between Jake Ellingson and Regis Clark. Regis looking to the inside. All 3 of them under a blanket, even though 4th place, Tyler Justice into that.
Oh, baby, I'm telling you right now, any of these guys, if they just slip just a little bit right here, Daniel, it could be trouble for the rest of the field. Up front, Eddie Smith, he is clear, all clear. Clark, Ellingson, they go for 2nd. Tyler Justice, wasn't a side-by-side battle. He had Kristen there, 3 wide. Big Sid Ellingson goes up, he hits the catch fence. We got a hell of a wreck at 3 and 4.
Yeah, absolutely huge wreck. As you said there, you can see Jake Ellingson's car in pieces, front wing hanging off, rear wing hanging off, tires hanging off. We're going to have to cue this up on the V-Speed instant replay to take a look at this. And you had said it. These guys were all under a blanket. If they made the slightest mistake, Tyler Justice goes to the inside, just tight racing, like maybe Regis Clark got a little loose there in the middle. And Jake Ellingson up into the catch fence. Gonna have to burn that fast repair, as is our points leader, Regis Clark. Both gonna have to use a fast repair on that one.
Yeah, I think Tyler Justice sending it down on the bottom side might have spooked Clark. And obviously Ellingson was up on the top side. Absolutely nowhere for him to go. He is crawling right now. He has yet to want to jump down there and tow, literally coasting at 7 miles an hour. Not wanting to have to tow because, I mean, if you tow, it's going to put you in a bad spot. You're going to obviously be down pit road for quite some time. So he is just trying to coast it, still at 7 miles an hour. By the time he gets down there and gets everything fixed, we might be able to go back green. We'll see how that ends up working out. Well, real quick, while we have an opportunity, didn't get a chance to talk about Jam Printing and Promotions for the Pole Award. And Eddie Smith right now is sitting in P1, is a Jam Printing and Promotions Pole Award winner. And since forming in 2013, Jam has contributed printing and promotional sponsorships to more than 60 local nonprofits with a primary focus on organizations that assist veterans, women, and children. They have been with Goat Locker Racing since the very beginning. Local and veteran certified. When they do well, they do good in the community. So thank you very much to Jam Printing and Promotions for their sponsorship here with Goat Locker. And I tell you, Daniel, buddy, good Lord have mercy. I mean, I know we saw a wreck right there, but just everybody sending it literally full spin going into the corners, not worrying about anybody at that point. Everybody's just full send. I've never seen anything like that in my life on iRacing or in real time.
Yeah, we kind of saw it a little bit at Indianapolis earlier this season. There's so much on throttle time there. These guys were able to generate runs, get that draft, stay tucked up pretty close to one another. So, yeah, the Indy cars are making this place fun. And, real quick, while we're pacing around, this is our last chance to do this over the summer. This is our last chance to put a curse on somebody. So I got to ask, Jake, who are you looking at for your pick to win tonight? I know who mine is, and you're going to laugh when I say this because I was going to pick Regis Clark pre-race, and he's already wound up in the fence somewhere. So, yeah, it's not working out too good for my pick already. But who you got before we go back green?
Well, I'm not even going to I was thinking Eddie Smith, but no way in hell am I going to do that because I would like to stick around for the fall series. I'll tell you what, let's make it interesting. You want me to put a little bit of bad juju on somebody? Give me Regis Clark, just to make it interesting with him and Tyler Justice. Just for the heck of it. He already got caught up in that little skirmish, but he is going to have to do it all the way from the back, try to get back up here. Green flag back in the air. Eddie Smith, Tyler Justice, absolutely separated from one another. Calvert, Kristen out there as well. Lucas Lyons out there in our Facebook chat said he's going to take Jason Kristen running in P4 for the most part. Now everybody is spread out way more than what we saw at the start. At the start, baby, they were looking like they were at Talladega. Now it's very much spread out.
Yeah, a little bit of a gap here between them, but Tyler Justice starting to catch back in using that draft on Eddie Smith there. And something that we didn't quite touch on, there were a few takers on pit road to come down and top off under that caution. So if we get a long green flag run, be interested to see how this plays out as the top three are now back under a blanket together. Tyler Justice looking to the inside of Eddie Smith. He's going to try to take the lead down into turn one.
He damn sure is, and obviously Tyler Justice loves these Indy cars. Would love to see him come back for the fall series. Really loving how these Indy cars is. Real big fan of them. And there you see why. Up at the front, Tyler Justice, double three, leads them through 3 and 4. Calvert back there in third with Smith right in the sandwich, stuck right in the middle. Kristen, now he's jumped up here, making it a 4-horse race. J.B. Lipke and Santa, Logan Thrakil back there 5th and 6th. Way back from this battle, here we go. Eddie Smith back down to the outside. Tyler Justice trying to hold it together there for a second. Tyler Justice thinking Eddie may go down to the bottom. Look at him. He's blocking that advance. He does not want Eddie Smith to get to the inside.
Yeah, Tyler taking a defensive line there, just trying to keep that bottom closed off. He's telling Eddie, if you're going to do it, you're going to do it the hard way. I would have to think that they're pretty much full throttle or pretty close around the turns. So that shorter line should be to his advantage, but Eddie Smith hanging tight on the outside.
Very, very tight, and Tyler Justice, check him out. Believe it or not, they can go below that yellow line to improve their position. They can go down there however they want to do it. They can cut the track much like they would do at, say, Chicagoland or Charlotte or any of the track. Kansas would be a good one. They can go down there to improve their position or run down there, but you don't really see that here as we got a caution talking about all that. Got a spinner back here in the back. And that will bring us under another caution. Ricky Sish Jr. going around.
You have to cue this up on the replay and see what exactly happened to Ricky Sisk. As you can see there, backwards to the infield grass, just following behind Regis Clark here to see what happened. Looked like maybe getting a little bit up the track there, a little bit of marbles up in those higher grooves too, just coming off the tires. Easy to lose traction if you get up into that. And looks like they just got a little wiggle there off of 4 and around she went, but I don't think that Ricky hit anything. I think they were able to keep it off the wall. A really good save if they were able to. Going to take a look at the onboard here. Just that little wiggle and just snaps around. But yeah, I think that Ricky came out of that relatively unscathed.
Yeah, the only thing that Ricky Sisk got hit right there was his pride right there, unfortunately for him. Gets spun around, but still gets it straightened back out. Everybody gets back up to the pace car. gets ready to get sending back out here on the racetrack. Nathan Graham, his bid for 2 in a row from Long Beach last week, he actually was sent down to the pits because of connection issues, and then he has left the server, so he is completely out of here. Jake Ellenson will get a lucky dog and get back to now what will be 3 laps down for the 27 after that hard impact up against the catch fence. Well, for the last time for this season, do want to mention one of the big sponsors here with the Lincoln Tech IndyCar Series, and why not? It's Lincoln Tech. And obviously, the title sponsor, Lincoln's mission is to provide superior education and training to their students for in-demand careers in a supportive, accessible learning environment, transforming students' lives and adding value to their communities. They are one of the largest automotive technology schools in the nation with 23 campuses. And obviously, they are the title sponsor of the Lincoln Tech IndyCar Series here with Goat Locker live on V-Speed. So thank you very much to Lincoln Tech for their support. We got a couple guys jumping down pit road right here. It looked like Ricky Sish Jr., one of them jumping down pit road. Corinne Smith, Jake Ellingson, and others jumping down pit road. But back to what I was talking about, Daniel, about that you can go wherever you want to pass. Much like you would be at Chicagoland Speedway or Kansas or whatever. Why do guys not want to cut the track, so to speak, going down the front stretch?
It seems like with these Indy cars that they really do not like that transition on the banking, from going from the banking on the track to down on that flat. As you can see there, race control, black flag for speeding for the 12 car. Gonna be back at the end of the line anyway with everything, but yeah, we've seen it with how quick these things snap around, and you can upset that car going over that transition. So not the best idea. There may be some guys that try it a little bit later on as we get down to crunch time, but I don't think we're going to see people venture down there too much tonight.
I don't believe so, but I'll say this, it doesn't really matter where they go. So far, it's been fast-paced and hard at it. Pace car back down pit road. Tyler Justice, Eddie Smith, David Calvert, Santa, Logan Thrakill. Pretty good little run for him up here before Devin Smith, the top 5, working their way down to turn 1 for the restart. Justice, big old jump. Eddie Smith, he's going to have to give chase off turn 2.
Yeah, and something else to keep an eye on, Jason Kristen in 6th, Regis Clark in 7th. Those are the first 2 cars that came down pit road under that last caution. Be interesting to see if they can do anything with a little bit of a tire advantage here, make some of this ground back up. But Tyler Justice out to about a quarter-second lead. See if Eddie can track him down here as they head through 1 and 2.
Yeah, I mean, Tyler Justice is taking that different approach. Everybody else, Eddie Smith, David Calvert, and Santa, all of them running what you would call, arcing the corner. Justice, nowhere even close to it, baby. He's keeping it all the way down on the yellow line. Eddie Smith gets a little bit of draft. We'll shoot it down into turn number 1. But Justice, not wanting to arc the corner, not wanting to come up against the wall, may end up costing him. Eddie Smith comes down, tries to get a little bit of draft. Calvert, he may think about going down to the inside. Here comes Logan Thrakill on the outside. Almost, Thrakill hits the outside wall, knocks the whole front wheel off of it. No caution yet on the speedway as Justice and Smith still battle going into 1.
Yeah, really tight race in there between our top 4, top 5 cars. And Santa is not going to be happy with the way his sleigh is looking after that. Big damage to the front of his car after that contact. Actually has a meatball flag currently. Going to have to come down, take his fast repair. Going to be hard to recover from that. But you can see here, our top 5 are all under a blanket, starting to move up the track, try to find some room. Eddie Smith still in second, trying to get that lead from Tyler Justice.
Yeah, poor old David Calvert. He is going to get a lump of coal from Santa this coming Christmas. Tyler Justice, though, still holding it down on the bottom side, all the way down on the bottom side, down in the cellar where Grandpappy hides the moonshine from Granny. But Eddie Smith wanting to run it up on the top side, run that middle lane, get that arc, get what he can get out of it. Calvert follows as well. Devin Smith, he bumps up to 4th after that contact with Thrakill getting mixed up. And Jason Kristen in this mix, as well as Regis Clark, now top 7, all of them under a blanket. 8th and 9th way back there, but now you got a big old race with 7 of them.
And I'll tell you what, if Tyler Justice is hiding the moonshine, he's got a pack of revenuers behind him because these guys are hot on his tail right now. They are too wide behind him. Eddie Smith looking to the outside, might have just a wheel, but not quite. Tyler's still able to hang on to that lead as they come back down the front straightaway. And it looks like, I believe that is David Calvert starting to take that low line method that Tyler Justice has been using.
Yeah, Devin Smith had a run on the outside, but Calvert slid up a little bit, might have spooked Devin Smith a little bit, had to get out of the gas. Kristen about ran him over. Now Eddie Smith thinks different about it. He took a couple of shots on the top side, nothing there. Now he will fall in line behind Tyler Justice, the race leader. 7 of them, all of them in a sneaky draft here at Nashville Super Speedway. Light up the live chat out there if you love what you're seeing here on a beautiful Wednesday night in virtual Nashville Super Speedway. And if you haven't yet, make sure you like and subscribe to B-Speed. Keep up with everything that's going on with Goat Locker here in the fall series coming up here in a number of weeks. Tyler Justice, very, very strong right now. He wants to keep it up there at the lead, and he's doing what he needs to do, Daniel.
Yeah, Tyler Justice mentioned, I was talking to him pre-race, and he mentioned he knows to have any shot at taking Regis down for points, he's got to go out there, win the race, lead the most laps, bring home as many points as he can, and that's why he's being so aggressive and trying to hold this lead. It's not just a matter of winning. It's a matter of he's got to go out there and try to dominate this thing. And so far, 27 laps in, he's been able to do just that, doing a really nice job of holding these guys off behind him. Eddie Smith still tucked up right behind the wing of that 33 car.
Well, I'll tell you what, you see this right here. See these guys working their way around here at 24 seconds a lap. I think a Top Gun. Literally, these guys are like fighter pilots at damn near 200 miles an hour. They haven't cracked that 200 mile per hour mark, at least from my mark. I don't believe anybody has. But they are very close, hitting about 197. As I'm watching Eddie Smith right now going into turn 3, watching him. He was at 195. If we can, Lucas, get us an onboard of anybody. Yeah, that'll work. Go with Eddie Smith and watch right here as they're going through the corners. 199 miles an hour on the 1.3 concrete oval of Nashville Super Speedway. And that is Eddie Smith hard at work trying to run down Tyler Justice.
And you can see he hit over 200 down the back straightaway, just touched 201 in the draft behind that 33 car. We could also see it that last time by. We talked about using that apron. Eddie got those left side tires down on there just a little bit. You can see he had to counter steer it. So definitely not where they want to be. You want to keep it up on the banking, but he is not lifting. He's keeping it, it looks like in 5th gear the whole way around the track, shifting a little bit as he needs it. And he's got that thing matted to the floor, just trying to find a way around this 33 of Tyler Justice. You can see he closes right up on the back bumper, but just straightaways just ain't quite long enough for him to get that run he needs to get to the outside.
Yeah, I mean, what a race right here for the season finale of the Lincoln Tech IndyCar Series here at Nashville Super Speedway. It has straight up put on a show. 1, 2, 3, 4, make it 5. All of them in a line. Clark trying to go to the top side. Lebke trying to hold off Jason Kristen. For the most part, everybody's single file. Take Kristen, see him sliding up to the top side a little bit. Devin Smith as well. But for the most part, everybody riding in line. I mean, Daniel, you see these guys riding in line. Do you think maybe they are just riding at this point? Or I mean, it's all that they can do. They can't do nothing else.
Well, it could be a little bit of both. And I wonder from somebody like Regis Clark or Jason Kristen, because they came down pit road on that last caution, would have put them about 105 laps left in this race. And, you know, for some people, that's too early to think about fuel strategy. If Lucas Lyons wasn't muted, he could attest. I start thinking about fuel strategy before the race even gets started. I'm thinking, can I make this on one less stop than everybody else? Those guys might be riding in line right now, just trying to use that draft to save a little fuel, and it would be a bit of a stretch, but it's not out of the realm of possibility that they could stretch it and make it on one stop, especially with the different engine modes and fuel maps and things like that these cars have. So, you know, it's early, but we've only got 9 cars on the lead lap. It's not out of it's not out of the question to think that this thing could go green to the end from here.
Maybe Devin Smith way up the hill right there. Might have got a little bit tight coming off of turn 2. And, Daniel, I asked you about this as well, about the tires, about the fuel, but mainly about the tires. This concrete oval, for the most part, they can send it. But getting into these corners, these high speeds, with these Indy cars, I mean, you get a little bit better tire wear than what you would of a NASCAR next-gen car or an Xfinity or truck here at Nashville Super Speedway. You get a little bit tire wear better. But how are these guys feeling running around here? As it's been a pretty good long green flag run we've had right here. How do you think they're feeling out there on these tires?
Well, just looking at the lap times, for example, with our leader, Tyler Justice, his fastest lap of the race is a 23:88. And now he's running, his last lap was a 24:35. So handling definitely coming into play. See Regis Clark trying to make a move to the inside. And that's kind of why it surprises me that like Regis Clark, Jamie Lipke, and somebody like Jason Kristen haven't started making some more moves, because they do have a tire advantage. So maybe they're trying to save a little bit, not just fuel, but save some tire too. You see Regis Clark took that 4th position and able to clear relatively easily on Devin Smith. So see if he can make any more moves as he gets up here.
Yeah, we'll see if he can make a little bit of a hayway one way or another. Clark now up to the 4th spot, exactly where he started. Devin Smith, the biggest mover in the field, started 10th. Now he's up here sitting in the top 5 with Lipke, Kristen, and Corinne Smith back there. Corinne Smith way back here with Ricky Sish Jr. They're way back there in the back. Here comes Regis Clark up on the top side. Devin Smith finds a hole, sends it down on the bottom side. Clark gets sideways, able to hold on to it. As Tyler Justice, for the most part, still holding it down up here at the front of the field. And real quick, while it has calmed down for just a little bit, I mean, eventually it's going to heat back up. We do want to mention some more of our great sponsors here with Goat Locker, and one of them being Cruising Classics. And Cruising Classics, obviously located in Columbus, Ohio. Cruising Classics has a beautiful 56,000 square foot showroom filled with hundreds of unique automobiles. There is something for everybody out of their hand-picked selection of muscle cars and hot rods. Come on down to visit the facility today and check out their website at cruisingclassicsinc.com. And they have been the title sponsor of the Cruising Classics Retro 87 series that was here on V-Speed. So thank you very much to Cruising Classics. You see everybody still snaking their way around through here, basically just logging laps and just trying to make something happen. Calvert, though, Daniel, is looking very, very aggressive, trying to look up there on that top side, but he doesn't want to give that inside away because Devin Smith's already made that happen with Regis Clark.
Yeah, Devin Smith able to take that 4th place back from Regis. I thought for sure with the tire advantage. Once he got it, he wasn't letting it go. You see Regis looking to the outside again, just not quite able to generate the run that he needs to be able to get up there alongside the 24. But, yeah, really solid run tonight for David Calvert, somebody that we haven't seen run full-time in the series, but has made quite a few starts over the summer and gotten better each week, really. So nice to see him up there having a solid run tonight.
Working their way off of turn number 4, Tyler Justice, Eddie Smith, David Calvert, Devin Smith, Regis Clark, the top 5. Lipke Kristen, the top 7, if you will. Everybody's still under a blanket right here. Tyler Justice, you mentioned it a second ago, Daniel, doing what he needs to do right here. I mean, Clark back here sitting in the 5th spot. I think with that 18-point gap, it's going to be tight. It's going to be tight, for Tyler Justice to be able to try something. He's doing his part, but honestly, I don't want to, count my chickens before they hatch or nothing, but I feel like that Tyler Justice is really going to need Regis Clark to finish down where Nathan Graham is to even have a shot at this thing. But unfortunately, Nathan Graham, he's already out, and so is Logan Thurkiel, so it may just be Regis Clark's championship at this point.
Yeah, it's a good possibility. It's hard to say with the drop week, with with how that'll get calculated, because things can change with that also. And to my knowledge, tonight can be a drop race for these drivers, unless I'm mistaken on that. If I am mistaken and what they get tonight is what they get, then it's definitely Regis's to lose at this point, with that 18-point lead coming into the night and only a 12-car field. So we'll have to see how it all plays out. Still got a lot of racing to go, and we're also going to have green flag pit stops coming up here soon. And I'm just trying to think back. Have we had green flag pit stops at an oval this season?
I think we have. Honestly, I think Milwaukee, we had them. I believe we might have had some at Indy, if I'm not mistaken, because I remember a couple times them trying to lock them up going into the pits. I think we had a long green flag run at Indy. So there was that. I think Pocono. There was a couple of them. I think we had some long green flag runs to where it, allowed drivers to jump down pit road. But this one's going to be a little bit different. Daniel, you think about, Milwaukee, it's kind of flat, that little interesting pit road where the barrels kind of stick right out there, and they're just out there just enough to jump up and bust you. Indy was very narrow pit road. Pocono was pretty wide. This one's a little bit different. Got to get down to 45 miles an hour, and there is a transition that they got to come down. So that will make it very interesting for these guys to come down pit road, and could change the complexion, maybe not for the championship, but could change complexion of who may end up winning this race.
Yeah, you mentioned it, with Milwaukee, the speeds were a little bit slower, being a flatter track, only a mile long. This track has speeds that are more comparable to Indy and Pocono. And we saw guys having problems. It's really hard when you're out there running almost 200 miles an hour to get these things slowed down to 45 miles an hour. So pit road is going to be sketchy. It wouldn't surprise me if we see a speeding penalty somewhere in that green flag cycle, and they should be coming up here shortly for those that did not pit under that last caution. Already past our expected fuel window, but those cautions we had earlier help out a little bit with that.
Yeah, I mean, it really could, as you see them working their way through 1 and 2, still on that snaky little draft that they got going on. Tyler Justice keeps on doing what he's doing. He's going to end up leading the most laps, making him a couple of extra bonus points. There you see, last lap for Pitt. Here we go. A couple of them jumping down. Calvert, one of them that jumps down pit road. I believe Devin Smith or others. Oh, Tyler Justice. Your race later jumped down pit road right there with Devin Smith. They jumped down pit, or Calvert, I should say. Hell, all of them kind of looks the same when they're moving through there so fast. But here we go, 2 of them jumping down, Justice, Calvert. Will we see everybody else with that 2 cars that jump down pit road? Will we see everybody else jump down? Not this time. They're going to put Justice and Calvert 1 lap down. So eventually what they want, Daniel, they want this sucker to run green. That way they can get back in the fray and get back on the lead lap.
Yeah, and even though the pit stops are quicker, you can see over there 9.2 and 9.3 seconds quicker than what we would anticipate. Is I think Eddie Smith may have missed pit road there. Looked like he tried to pull off. Not sure if he got it woed down in time or not. Have to take a look at that here real quick. We're just talking about how tricky it is, and you can see he's going to take a little shortcut through the grass, but he's able to get the commit cone. So, not the most efficient pit entry, but he was able to get down there. So 87 on pit road. But yeah, any of these guys that pit with as quick as the lap times are that they're running, they're going to lose a lap. So that's really your big concern right now, is if a caution comes out before this cycles around, you're going to have to take that wave around, going to lose whatever track position you had. So something to keep an eye on for those as this cycle works through.
Yeah, I mean, really, wow, what a drive right there by Eddie Smith. They had the patience, hit the grass. A lot of people, if you haven't been on the sim on iRacing, when you hit the grass, it's like driving over ice. Great presence of mind of Eddie Smith and good driving ability to send it when he gets down in the grass, try to get it wound down as good as he can, and still drive the damn thing going through the grass and then make it to the commitment cone. Didn't get a black flag, didn't get busted, nothing like that. He was able to make the commitment cone. If that commitment cone would have been back there where the grass started, he'd been screwed. but it worked out well for him. And Eddie Smith, technically, from what I'm seeing right now, he actually came out pretty good. Came out right in front of David Calvert. Both of them still trying to run down Tyler Justice. So he actually came out pretty, awesome. He really come out better than what he probably could have out of that whole deal. So it worked out pretty good for old Eddie Smith.
Yeah, he didn't lose any positions as far as those that he's racing against with this strategy that he's on. So really about the best outcome that he could have hoped for with everything that happened. To see Regis Clark putting Ricky Sisk, I believe that is, a lap down. No, I'm sorry. That's Jamie Lipke in the 16 a lap down. Like you said earlier, some of these cars just look so similar. That's second. I'm all over the place here. Some of these cars just look so similar, and I'm used to the big old redneck numbers on the side of all the stock cars. I lose track of who's what in these things sometimes.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm used to them being right below the driver's window, not right up there where the left or at the front of the wheel is. I'm used to the old school number strategy out of that. As you see, Regis Clark still holding down with the lead, trying to get him a couple of points, try to bounce back into this one way or another. And, we talked about it a second ago with those others, Tyler Justice, Eddie Smith, Calvert, and all those guys. They went down pit road. They did not make a pit stop. They did not make one earlier on. Regis Clark and others, they went down pit road, so kind of split the gap right here. You see it right here on the pylon. Clark, Libke, Kristen, Devin Smith back there, Corinne Smith and Ricky Sish Jr., all of them pitted on 15, 16, and the others pitted around that 54 mark, give or take. So kind of a split strategy, I guess you could say. It will be interesting to see if this strategy plays out for them, because they're on the old shoes. They're running 24 flats out here, give or take 24 twos. Everybody else, they're running about the same as well. So it'll be interesting to see how they kind of match back up.
Yeah, and I think that's the most interesting thing to me right now is I would have expected for those that have pitted and have the fresher tires to be turning a little bit faster lap times, but right now, Regis Clark actually running laps that are just as fast, if not a little bit faster than the ones that have already pitted. And some of that may just be you got a few cars running in a draft here versus those that have pitted got separated. Now they're starting to group back up together, so we'll have to see if the lap times kind of equal out or go back in their favor. But I really would have thought that the undercut would have worked and been a little bit more effective than it has been so far.
I would have thought that too. Oh, baby, get a little bit of contact back there in the back. Some of these guys back here slipping around right here. Devin Smith and Calvert, they make a little bit of contact going into turn one. Could have really threw this sucker for a wrench, because if you think about it, should a caution come out, Tyler Justice will get the lucky dog and get back on the lead lap. The others with Eddie Smith, Devin Smith, David Calvert, assuming they don't end up getting caught up in a wreck as hard as they're racing back there, they will have to take the wave around, and they will have to start behind all of the guys that pitted. Justice actually would get screwed out of that, because he gets the lucky dog. He's got to start behind every damn body. So just all kinds of people wanting a caution. Some may not want a caution. It literally flips all the way around at this point.
Yeah, and we're getting to a point now, as you see, lap 68 of 120. I'm starting to think that those that pitted on that caution, the last caution that we had, are going to be able to one-stop this. It's going to be really, really close. They're right on the edge of that window. And so I'm just really curious to see how this is going to play out as we see Regis Clark actually pulling off to make his pit stop. Whether it's the last one of the night, we'll have to see. But now Jamie Libke in the 16 going to assume the lead with Jason Kristen right behind in second.
Yeah, and when will they jump down pit road? We'll see how that ends up working out. As 1-2 separated, just there it is. There's your separation. As here we go. Now Kristen's going to jump down pit road in the 16, or 82, excuse me. He goes down pit road, and that will leave Jamie Libke out there at the front all by themselves. Up there at the front, and Corinne Smith currently right now on the lead lap, 7 seconds back from Jamie Libke. kind of interesting to see how this works right here. If I was him, I'd pit, and that's exactly what he just did. So Jamie Lemke, they go down pit road. Here comes Corinne Smith. They're going to go down as well. And eventually, I have no idea who the hell's going to be up at the front of this thing. It might be Regis Clark for all I know.
Yeah, I think looking at our timing and scoring now, Tyler Justice is going to take the lead back, but definitely one more stop, and Jamie Lemke might have been on the winning strategy, but as you can see there from race control, she got a black flag for speeding, and we actually have a caution out on the track right as all of this is playing out. So take all that fuel strategy we were just talking about, throw it out the window, but have to queue up what happened to see Corinne Smith also black flagged for speeding here, and still trying to take a look and see what exactly that caution was for. Didn't see anything immediately for it. Take a look here on our instant replay. Jason Kristen, you can see there leaving pit road. Car just loops around on cold tires. Goes down through the grass, and not sure if maybe just had a little bit of debris. Oh yeah, you can see all the dirt, all the grass flying off of it, just loops it around coming off a pit road there.
Oh, Lord have mercy. Yeah, it about got big right there. We about saw somebody turn into a damn airplane. Well, here we go. Everybody jumping down pit road right here, getting ready for, like you said, Daniel, this is pretty much the money stop at this point, unless, you know, we get a caution right there pretty close to the end of this thing. You want about 10, 15 to go, then you'll probably see him jump down pit road as well. But for the most part, it could be the money stop if it goes green all the way. Tyler Justice, Eddie Smith, Devin Smith, David Calvert, Regis Clark, all these guys jumping down pit road. Here comes Clark. Clark, Eddie Smith, both of them up at the front. It looks like Eddie Smith will beat Regis Clark off of pit road. And Tyler Justice, who is in position to possibly win this damn thing, now he's going to be mired back in third coming out of the pits. But Tyler Justice, we saw him, Daniel. Tyler Justice shoot up through there as fast as he did. Could possibly play spoiler and could still jump up there and get this win.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, Tyler definitely showed the speed that first run, and we saw once he got out front, got control of this race, they couldn't get around him. He was doing a really good job controlling everything, blocking the runs as they came. So have to see how this plays out. And right now, it looks like it's actually showing Jamie Lemke as our leader, but believe she does still have the black flag to serve before we head back green here.
We'll see how that ends up working out as we're looking like getting ready to come back right here for the one to green. And while we got the quick opportunity, let's tell you another great sponsor here with Goat Locker. That is Invets. And Invets aids in transitioning to civilian life, focusing on job placement and finding the right community for veterans and their families to ensure their success and happiness. They're a veteran nonprofit in Indiana, all the way up there, Indiana, hometown of Tony Stewart, with the goal of bringing veterans to the state to live and to work. And they are the title sponsor of the Sunday Invets Truck Series here with Goat Locker. So thank you very much to Invets for their sponsorship and their commitment to Goat Lockers. We see Jamie Lemke kind of sending it around the racetrack here for some odd reason. I have no idea what the heck's going on right here. I mean, it was showing Jamie Lemke as the leader, but then sends it all the way back around the track. I guess Jake Ellenson, he's more or less running race control right here. So kind of throwing him for a loop as we're now going to get ready for the one to green.
Yeah, not 100% sure. I did see that we did extend that caution for an extra lap, but I'll be honest with you. I'm with you, Jake. I don't know what in the world's going on with that right now. It looks like some of those that are on the tail end of the lead lap were dropping back. Yeah, I'll be honest. I have absolutely no idea. I've heard some people saying there's some weird things going on with the pace car at certain tracks, some weird glitches and things of that nature. So I I don't know. Maybe it's something to do with that or something. I honestly have no clue.
Just guess at it. Just guess at it at this point. Who knows at this point? But with JV Lemke, if they had that black flag, which from what it looks like on the entries portion on my end, they don't have a black flag. So somehow or another got busted for speeding. Somehow or another it worked out in their favor. JV Lemke, the leader of this race, with Eddie Smith, Regis Clark, Tyler Justice, David Calvert, the top 5, Devin Smith, Jason Kristen, Corinne Smith, and Ricky Sish Jr. Those are the drivers on the lead lap. Jake Ellingson, 2 laps down. Would love to get a caution right here. A couple of cautions. May end up getting some lucky dogs. Get that 27 back on the lead lap. Well, odds are we're out the door on racing for fuel at this point. It's going to be all the way to the end. We'll see how it turns out. Regular season finale, Nashville Super Speedway, Goat Locker, Lincoln Tech IndyCar Series back underway. 1 and 2. Lemke's got the lead. Eddie Smith going to take it down to the inside. Here comes Regis Clark to follow.
Yeah, Eddie got a huge run down the back straightaway there. Able to take that lead. Going to try to set sail. 2, almost 3 wide for second place. Tyler Justice going to try to follow Regis Clark through. I don't think he wants to necessarily draft with the guy he's chasing in the championship, but you don't have a whole lot of choice sometimes. He's up to 3rd. Regis in 2nd. Jamie Lemke back to 4th.
Yeah, Lemke trying to hold it down. Actually, that's Calvert now sitting in the 4th spot. Devin Smith lined up right behind him. JV Lemke was up there at the front for a little bit, and then all of a sudden just dropped anchor and is absolutely gone. Now it is a dogfight up here for the lead. Regis Clark, he's got to fend off Tyler Justice. Justice took a shot to the top, went down to the bottom, back to the top, straightened back out, lined right up behind Clark. All of it going on behind the tide ride of the 87 of Eddie Smith in 3 and 4.
Yeah, you can see these guys must have taken a page out of Tyler Justice's playbook, learned from what he was doing earlier. Everybody tried to hug that yellow line, prevent the runs. Tyler Justice going to try to take a look to the outside of Regis Clark here. Got a little bit of a run. He's up alongside the 8 car. See if he can complete the pass as they head down into 3 and 4.
And the big thing that Tyler Justice may want to try to do is try to pinch Regis Clark down on the bottom side as much as he possibly can. That way, if Clark's got to get into the corner and he's got to slide up a little bit, he's got to get out of the gas. Either that or take Tyler Justice out with him. But for the most part, Clark able to send it, able to make it stick. Calvert thinking about it up on the bottom side. Smith up top. Now they're 2 by 2 behind Eddie Smith as Tyler Justice able to complete the pass on the outside, try to run down the tide ride, and Devin Smith trying to follow right behind him up on the top.
A really impressive move by Tyler Justice, able to do something we haven't really seen a whole lot tonight. Complete that pass on the high side. Devin Smith now up to 4th, and that tide ride out front, man, he was making this place look like a Temu version of Talladega out there, controlling both lines, helping one line out a little, helping the other line out a little, trying to keep them side by side. But Tyler Justice starting to pull up on the back wing of that 87 car.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, he is doing a fantastic job trying to make it stick. How about Corinne Smith in the 10? Out of nowhere, getting smack dab in the middle of this with Calvert and Lemke back there to follow as well. Justice has jumped back up on the back wing of Eddie Smith. Maybe thinking different, maybe looking to the top side. Devin Smith way up the racetrack, trying to run after Regis Clark. Justice going to take a couple of shots and try to go after the tide ride.
Tyler with a good run. He's going to look to the outside in 3 and 4. Not quite able to make it stick this time. He's got a couple of folks in the live chat out there on YouTube cheering him on. He's going to try to use this momentum to get to the outside. Eddie's still holding the lead as they go through 1 and 2, but it is tight between our top 2 drivers.
Ooh, baby, he might have got a run right there by Justice up to the top side. Will get to the right rear wheel of Eddie Smith. Now Smith doing the same thing that Tyler Justice was doing a while ago, pinning it right down on the bottom side and trying to make it work. Regis Clark trying to follow Eddie Smith. Devin Smith right in behind him. We got all kinds of Smiths. We got Clarks. We got Justice. We got it all here at Go Locker as Tyler Justice once again to the outside trying to get around Eddie Smith, but may open the door for Regis Clark on the bottom.
And you know Tyler's got to be trying to look two places at once right now. Eye out the mirror, eye out front. He almost got in the back of the 87. He's got a big run down into turn one. See if he can do anything with it. But Eddie, for now, able to hold that lead. He's going to look to the outside again down the back straightaway.
Yeah, outside may end up getting a little bit of help from Devin Smith, but don't want that bump draft like you would see at Daytona or Talladega in NASCAR. Can't really do a bump draft in these suckers because you knock the whole front wing off of it, and then you pretty much are screwed. But here we go. Justice trying to use the air to his advantage. Smith trying to use whatever he can. Clark trying to hold it down, and Eddie Smith just worrying about out the mirror and not out the front. Hard, tight racing. Justice find a hole, jump down, tried to draft. Wow, Justice is going to have to find something. He's going to have to figure out a run. He's going to have to, once he gets to Eddie Smith, pitch him down there, make him left. He done it around Clark. He's got to figure out a way to do it around Eddie Smith, though.
Yeah, Eddie doing everything he can to hold on to this lead. You can see our top 6 drivers, top 7 drivers, half a second. That's it between these guys. Just super tight racing all throughout, side by side. Second place, almost contact. They're almost 3 wide for second place behind Eddie Smith.
Devin Smith trying to see if he can follow Tyler Justice as much as he possibly can. Eddie Smith still got a little bit more of a gap now. Justice way down at the bottom of the racetrack, damn near clips the apron, jumps back in line. Clark now he is side by side with Devin Smith. Calvert side by side with Corinne Smith. Jamie Lemke up here in this mix, as well as Jason Kristen falling right in behind them. Justice finally gets up to the side, but Eddie Smith gets a run down in 1 and 2. Justice has got to figure something out. He may end up having to go to the damn apron to get around Eddie Smith. I think that's the way he's going to have to do it. He was able to get around Regis Clark. I think Justice is going to have to cut it down. He's going to have to go down low. He's got to figure something out. He can't do it now. Clark's there as Eddie Smith leads him into 1.
You know, you just mentioned, I was just thinking about it. Could Tyler Justice be the first driver that we see to dip down on that apron, try to make a move? Desperate times call for desperate measures, but right now he's got a car to his inside. Regis Clark looking to take that second place back from Tyler Justice. He's got the tow from Eddie Smith directly ahead of him, and it looks like he's just about got him cleared as they head down into turn 1.
Oh, baby, they are sending it all 9 ways to Sunday. Clark able to jump up here. Here comes Justice back with another send on the top side. He's got Devin Smith and Calvert. They're up there trying to duke it out the best that they possibly can. Calvert now side by side with Smith. Corinne Smith right behind them. We got Smiths at the yin-yang. Eddie Smith, Devin Smith, also with Corinne Smith. Throw another Smith out there. Anybody want to be a Smith and jump in the middle of this bad boy? Tyler Justice, though, now he's going to get freight train on the inside. Devin Smith will go by. Here comes Calvert. Calvert goes by. Tyler Justice, who was leading this sucker, is now flip-flopping back into the 4th spot.
Yeah, got to wonder if maybe with just the way he was running that top groove, did he hurt those tires? Is he going to be able to get back up there? Just don't quite know as he makes a big move to the bottom. Baby, I thought he was going to lose that thing off of turn 2 there. Went bottom, back up to the top, trying to get back up there into 3rd place. Devin Smith going to hang on to her for now.
Yeah, Devin Smith trying to make it stick. Regis Clark might actually have a shot right here with Eddie Smith going into 1. But looks like Eddie Smith keeping it on the bottom. He will get back clear. Tyler Justice now rolls on the top side. Maybe looking 3 wide if Devin Smith can get there. Justice up on the top side, damn near 3 wide for the lead, but it gets back out to 2 wide and then back down to single file with Clark jumping back up in behind Eddie Smith. Devin Smith trying to make a little play. Justice up here trying to make something happen. Corinne Smith, David Cameron, all of them sending it through 1 and 2.
Tyler Justice trying to take the elevator up to the penthouse there. He's going to look to the top side again on Regis Clark. Not quite able to make it stick. Regis able to hold that 2nd place for now. And just amazing battle going on between all of these drivers. We've got them looking side by side for 3rd. Corinne Smith trying to work her way back up there as well.
Yeah, I mean, they are sending it all over the place. It's like Lucas just said in our Facebook chat. Nashville Super Smith way with all the Smiths up here battling it out. I got a feeling you got 8 of them up there with about 3 Smiths. If you got your, in your office pool for the Smith, if you got a Smith in it, you probably odds are going to end up winning the damn thing. Damn near 3 wide. Clark was almost in the middle. Justice up top. Smith on the bottom side. Clark is doing everything. He's doing the same thing that Tyler Justice has been trying to do over and over and over. Get the draft. Get up to the right side. Try to do something. But we are right here at the 20 to go mark. 21 to go, give or take. But, Daniel, we talk a lot about side draft. With NASCAR and everything else. These Indy cars, can you do it, baby? Tyler Justice saw a hole, stuck it down on the bottom side. Clark is absolutely in trouble. Justice down on the bottom side. But, Daniel, is there a side draft here in these cars?
I'm going to be honest with you. I don't have the slightest idea, but I know these guys are going to try it either way as you see Regis Clark right on the right rear tire of Eddie Smith. I don't know if that's going to work or not. Here we go. Tyler Justice thought about it. He was down there on the apron, like you said, where Grandpappy hides the moonshine. He thought about it, backed out of it for now. Still hanging on to that 3rd place.
Oh, baby, I'm telling you, he may have to end up going there. He may have to pull a little old school pass in the grass to try to make it stick. Clark trying to go. Smith, he is able to get back clear. Now back 2 wide. Smith up there with Corinne Smith as well. All the Smiths except for Eddie Smith up on the top side. It'd be wild if Eddie Smith was on the top side. You'd have all the Smiths on the top side. But Clark occupied the top spot on the top side. I don't even know where I went with that. But Clark up here on the top. Justice on the bottom. Now Clark falls back in line.
And Regis keeps getting massive runs off of turn 2, just nowhere to be able to go with it. He's going to try to look to the outside, but Eddie Smith just keeping that momentum up on the bottom there. And I'm just waiting. We saw Tyler Justice thought about it. I'm just waiting for somebody to send it down there on that apron. And, you mentioned it earlier, one little mistake with as close as these guys are, somebody might end up in that row of RVs back there.
Yeah, very good possibility. Devin Smith thought about 3 wide going into 3, but wasn't able to get there. Clark able to get back clear. Woo, Devin Smith, woo, baby, he got a little bit sideways, almost snapped it sideways. Now Clark back up on the top side. Back 2 by 2, front 4. Clark gets back, or Clark and Eddie Smith, they both get back clear, but Smith still regains with the lead. Devin Smith way up the racetrack, really working all the outside lane that he can here at Virtual Nashville Super Speedway. It's Eddie Smith, Regis Clark, Devin Smith, Tyler Justice, side by side, dead heat at the line. Jason Kristen, Lucas's pick, up here running pretty good in the top 5 with Corinne Smith and David Calvert, and also Jamie Lemke. That's the top 8. Ricky Sish Jr. all by himself back there in 9th. About 8 seconds back from this wild battle coming off of turn 4 at Nashville.
Yeah, we're getting down to the wire here. Top 3, top 5, 6, however many we got out there, all still under a blanket. We've got Smiths, we've got Clarks, we've got Jason Kristen in that greeted black ghost machine trying to work his way up there too. Regis going to look to the outside again on Eddie Smith, just not quite able to keep that momentum up the way he needs. Tyler Justice tucked up right behind the 2 of them.
And, folks, we've been talking about how tight this is as Justice thinks about it, goes to the top, full send, tries to make it stick. Devin Smith damn near runs him over. But we're talking about how tight this is, how close these guys are apart from one another. Let's check this out on board right here. This is David or Jason Kristen. Both of their cars kind of look the same there for a second, but this is Jason Kristen. Look how tight they're racing right there in front of them. All this going on. Look at the speed, up to 200, 201 miles an hour going into turn 1, and just how tight these guys are. One little slip and everybody's screwed. There's got to be a lot of trust, a whole lot of trust right here between these drivers to be able to make those moves as we're riding on board with Corinne Smith. Look how tight. Got to get out of the gas. Don't want to end up running over Devin Smith right there. So, you got to be careful, but you got to have a lot of trust in these things. Corinne Smith, oh, baby, that is tight right there.
Yeah, she got put 3 wide in the middle there. Not where you want to be, just trying to mind her own business to get through there. These guys are 2 by 2 up here for the lead. Jason Kristen, they're in the mix right behind Eddie Smith. 3 wide, almost for a second there for second place. I think they did go 3 wide there just briefly. Tyler Justice searching around, moving up to the top of the track, trying to find anything he can. All these guys all over the place out there.
Yeah, they are absolutely all over the place. Jason Kristen trying to work down to the inside, trying to pull the Eddie Smith strategy. May end up paying off for him if he can keep that draft. Here comes Kristen down on the bottom side. Clark up top. Kristen, hands are tied, trying to make it happen. Justice, he's got to fall back in line, but actually no. He'll stay up on the top side. He'll go around, try to go around Jason Kristen, but Clark's starting to back him up as well. Eddie Smith playing arrow blocker here at Nashville with under 10 to go, trying to win it.
Yeah, Eddie Smith doing everything he can, just hugging that yellow line, trying to keep all the momentum he can, make sure nobody can get to his inside. Tyler Justice right behind his main championship rival. Regis Clark goes to the inside, thought about going to the apron, back up to the top. He's pulling a Kyle Busch here, 3 wide by himself there for a minute. Just a crazy move trying to get the momentum to get that lead off of Eddie Smith.
I mean, I got to tell you, if I'm Eddie Smith, I am not giving up that yellow line all the way around this thing. And much less, I wouldn't give up the damn apron at this point, because if one of them gets a run, they can get down there on the apron. Then you're running into a situation where it's going to end up causing somebody to wreck. Somebody's going to wreck if somebody gets down on the apron. As we're looking 3 wide out, baby, Clark almost got turned. Wow, Tyler Justice had to get out of the gas. Damn near right rear or left rear hooks Regis Clark. That opens the door for Jason Kristen as both of them had to get out of the gas. Justice is going to lose multiple spots. Oh, baby, that might have been all she wrote for the 33. If he had any shot at winning this race or trying to get the championship, damn near might have sealed it for Regis Clark.
Yeah, Tyler Justice fell way back on that exchange. Regis Clark still battling for second with Jason Kristen. David Calvert right there behind. Eddie Smith opens up just a little bit of a gap, but still not far enough out where these guys ain't going to be able to sniff a draft off of them. They are almost 3 wide for second, trying to get back up there to that 87.
Yeah, David Calvert up here trying to make it 2 in a row for the podium finishes here this week with Goat Locker. Finished third last night with Retro 87 series at Old Atlanta. May end up having something on that. They're 3 wide back there for fourth. Calvert has a shot. Tries to get up here with Jason Kristen. Not able to do it. May end up falling back in line. Regis Clark working the top side. 3 laps to go. Nashville Super Speedway. Line it up out there on the live chat if you love what you see it here tonight on V-Speed.
Yeah, 3 laps to go. Not a lot of time. These 24-second laps are going to click off really quick here. Regis Clark, this is the closest he's been on the outside as far as being even with Eddie Smith. He's still hanging on there. Eddie able to keep just a little bit of an edge off of 4. They're 2 wide behind him. Jason Kristen coming with a run also. He's going to try to make it 3 wide for the lead.
Oh, baby, 2 to go. Here they go. Eddie Smith down on the bottom side. Clark, Kristen, Calvert. Calvert had to get out of the gas, almost turned Clark. But we're coming down to the white flag right here, Daniel. I've got a feeling if you want to win this thing, you cannot lift.
You cannot lift it. If you've been thinking about going to the apron and trying something, now's the time to do it. White flag is in the air. Regis Clark on the outside. Eddie Smith on the inside. They almost made contact. That might give Eddie just the edge he needs to be able to hang on to this.
And everybody full send is Clark right there smack dab in the middle. Kristen, Calvert, all of them had to get out of the gas. They made contact. David Smith goes up, hits the wall. Eddie Smith tied ride, roll tide at the line. Eddie Smith gets the win. Wow, Regis Clark, Jason Kristen come on with the top 3. David Calvert, Corinne Smith with a top 5 here this evening. But the night belongs to the tide ride of Eddie Smith. Gets it done. Produced, obviously, for all the races for the Cruising Classics Retro 87 Series. He comes home with another win here tonight at Nashville Super Speedway. What a drive right there by Eddie Smith. But if you think about it, the night also belongs to Regis Clark, who's coming out there as well to do their burnout. And Regis Clark, he will be your Lincoln Tech IndyCar Series champion.
Yeah, with a solid run tonight, finishing on the podium. He's going to go out there and do a few donuts of his own. Really strong summer series out of Regis. Definitely a well-earned championship. Congrats to him on that, and congrats to that 87 Tide ride on the win tonight.
Eddie Smith going to burn it down right here on the front straightaway, as well as Regis Clark, obviously, going to burn it down as well. Jason Kristen gets him a podium finish. Going to burn it down out here a little bit. Parks it out here on the front stretch at the Nashville Super Speedway, as there you see Regis Clark burning it down with the championship. Tyler Justice had a shot, kind of got shot up the hill and pretty much ended his shot at trying to get the championship here this evening. But the night does belong to, obviously, Eddie Smith and Regis Clark. Well, looks like Eddie Smith is done with his burnouts. So while we got the opportunity, we're going to step away, rest our voices for just a split second. We'll be right back with the podium finishers and the champion of the Lincoln Tech IndyCar Series, final race results, and our final opinions or our final analysis of a great season. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back.
Superior quality, ultimate protection, and the highest level of craftsmanship. We make our gloves for the hard worker that wakes up every morning and gives 110%. You deserve the highest quality protective gear that's going to work for you, day in, day out. We know it can be tough deciding what companies to trust for your hard-earned money. It's all in our name. We've mastered our craft to help you master yours. We make our gloves rugged, durable, and designed for you. Whatever the job is, we have you covered. We are your glove station.
A thriving job market and low cost of living, plus a wide range of veteran benefits, make Indiana the perfect place for veterans of the United States military to call home. InVets can help you find that home. We're an organization started by veterans to help former service members transition to civilian life in our state. InVets can help you find the community with the career opportunities, housing, schools, and amenities that fit your lifestyle. To learn more about InVets, visit us at invets.org today.
Folks, we are back here live on V-Speed regular season finale in the books for the Lincoln Tech IndyCar Series. And per how we're going to do this real quick, we do want to show you the race results here for this evening. Let you know where your favorite driver finished. Eddie Smith and the Tide Rod gets it done. Ends up winning the race here tonight. But more importantly, who finishes second is Regis Clark. Wins the championship. Eddie Smith, actually, from what we're understanding, already jumped up to second in the points. And Regis Clark ends up winning the whole damn thing. Comes home with a second place finish as well here tonight. Jason Kristen ends up coming home in the third spot with David Calvert in fourth. Corinne Smith will get fifth with Jamie Lemke in sixth. How about that right there? Top six right there, all of them under half a second. Honestly, if you thought that this race was boring, you are completely out of your damn mind. Obviously, Devin Smith, he ends up finishing seventh with Tyler Justice in eighth. Ricky Sess Jr. finishes ninth, and Jake Ellenson ends up finishing 10th.
The last two on the list here, Logan Thrikield, Santa, not having a good night, finishing in 11th with that damage. And Nathan Graham had some connection issues. He dropped out early. He's going to round out the field in 12th tonight.
Yeah, I kind of feel bad. Maybe I should have just done them last two right there, Daniel. I apologize. Anyway, we'll get our race winner up here in the booth real quick. Talk to Eddie Smith. Eddie Smith, Tide Ride, baby. You get it done at Nashville. What a race right there by everybody. Talk to us about that race, because I talked about it a while ago. Y'all were like Top Gun, just fighter jets going all over the place and just sending it. Was it like that out there?
No. I mean, if it was fighter jets, if we all had to fly in formation and nobody could do anything, yeah, that's exactly what it was like. No, that was bad. That's a terrible racing track. The leader, Tyler, gave the goods away. I mean, he had to. He's racing, for a championship. We didn't know how many points he needed, so he got out front and showed us all that the low line was unbeatable. There's nothing I could do to get around him, and then it was just the luck of the draw whoever got out front. So I don't know. I'm disappointed in that race. That was not the greatest. If I had to kind of say so myself, I'm pretty disappointed how that kind of played out.
Well, even though you're disappointed with how it played out, still a really strong run. You ended up getting second in the overall points for the Lincoln Tech IndyCar Summer Series. Got it by 2 points over Tyler Justice.
Hello?
What would you say has been like your favorite moment of the season? Sorry, you got me, Eddie?
Eddie.
I think
Eddie.
I think we lost Eddie.
Might have lost Eddie. Eddie.
All right, I'm back. My internet. God,
Hey!
yeah. I think my internet.
Well, it picked a good time to give out on you because the race is over and you already won. So, but yeah, you finished second in the points. Got Tyler Justice by 2 points for second place. What's been like your biggest takeaway, or like the biggest thing that you've learned with running these cars over the summer?
Wow, that's a great question. I think it's been fun learning the strategy because the racing is so either draft heavy or like tonight where clean air is important. Strategy is becoming paramount. Making the right calls at the right time. Like tonight, making the call to take fuel only on that final stop. I won the race. If I didn't, Regis would have been out front, and then he would have won. So, yeah, I think strategy on the oval side has been the big thing. When you talk about Indy, strategy is fuel saving, all that stuff. So, and I like that. I think that's fun. That's great racing. So, I've enjoyed the ovals. This was probably the only stinker that I know of. But yeah, so strategy on the oval side and just how much work I have to do on the road side. I think oval, I feel pretty good. But yeah, the road side, I have so much ground to make up on these guys that are, really, really good. Tyler Justice has been unbelievable. The road course is Regis Clark, of course. So those guys are lights out, and people just keep getting better and better and better. And being that it's sort of almost a 3-style discipline, it's going to be fun to try to work on the road course side and get better at that stuff. So yeah, strategy on the ovals, and I've got a lot of work to do on the road.
One thing about Eddie Smith, folks, he will straight up tell you like it is. How about that? Eddie Smith gets the win here tonight at Nashville Super Speedway. Eddie, congratulations on the win. Appreciate your time. And before we let you go, you got any sponsorships or any shout outs?
Yeah. Again, thanks Todd for the clean air. Thanks to Lincoln Tech for being a huge part of the series. Lincoln Tech car show's coming up in October, which will be really fun. Alex Sexhauer is going to be getting the rig there. They're going to kind of have a ceremony, if you will. So definitely, if you're in that area, go check that out. But Lincoln Tech, just amazing. I want to thank Save 22, obviously a big part of Goat Locker and a great partner. And then could not do any of this without the grant that Goat Locker gets with Indiana Department of Veteran Affairs. Just unbelievable partners and sponsors. And yeah, just incredible job what you guys have done for this IndyCar series. Daniel, Jake, and Lucas, y'all have kicked butt this season. I can't wait to see what y'all do moving forward. So thank y'all.
Thank you, Eddie Smith. That is Eddie Smith gets the win here tonight, Eddie. Appreciate your time. Once again, congratulations on the win. We'll see you whatever you do on the fall series. We'd love to see you get back out there and race a little bit next season.
All right, thanks, guys.
That was Eddie Smith. Tide ride gets it done. High tide, roll tide, however you want to do it. I know. Look. I know he's. I think he's a Mississippi State fan, so I may end up getting a little bit of trouble out of that right there. But we'll go to. Screw it. Let's go third place finisher. We'll save the champion for last. Bring up here, Jason Kristen comes home with a third here tonight. Jason, buddy, I got to be honest with you. There may be some that may sit there and say that race was a little bit boring, it was upsetting and everything else, but from what it looked like y'all were having a hell of a lot of fun out there racing, sir. You're taking the race.
Oh my God, I really can't say enough about how the Indy cars handle on some of these tracks. I mean, yeah, some people may not like the pack races, but it kind of reminds me of the old school Indy car here on iRacing, the IR05, I think it is. And those things were just a blast. So it reminded me a lot of that.
Well, great run tonight on the third place finish. And I've been waiting to get a chance to interview you because you've got the best looking paint scheme out there every week with those Ghost Energy colors out there. I know we talked about it in Discord before, but over the course of the season, what's been your favorite race or your favorite moment so far with this? Is it tonight with finally getting on that podium, or is there like another one that sticks out to you as you look back over the season?
Oh my God. With the way my memory is, I'm lucky I can remember to put on pants in the morning. But but I would honestly say this race. I still had a dirt moment partway through the race, causing that last yellow, which I'm not really proud of. But yeah, this was by far my favorite.
How about that right there for putting on the pants in the morning for Jason Christie? Comes over to third here this evening. Jason, buddy, congratulations on the third. Appreciate your time. And before we let you go, you got any sponsors, any shout outs?
Oh yeah. I gotta say a huge thank you to Goat Locker Racing for putting this summer series on. It's been an absolute blast, even when I screw up. Huge thanks to Above the Yellow Line, Sim Motion, and especially Lincoln Tech for their sponsorship of this series. Gotta shout out my personal sponsors, Ghost Energy, Signature Signs and Graphics, and Pappy's Pet Lodge.
Jason Kristen comes over to third, got the Ghost on the car. We'll see how he fares next season. I think Indy cars are coming back for the Tuesday series or somewhere in that range. So we'll see what happens with Jason next season. Buddy, appreciate your time. Congratulations on third. We'll see you next season.
All right. Thanks, everybody.
That was Jason Kristen. Pretty good drive for him. And now we'll go to the man of the hour. The big dog in the house. The champ is here. Regis Clark coming home with a second here tonight, but more importantly, enough points to pull it off. Get the championship. Regis, buddy, congratulations. You are the champion of the Lincoln Tech IndyCar Series.
Oh, thank you, guys. Thank you.
But what's it mean? What's it mean to be the champ? Come on, baby. I mean, you seem like you're too calm about this. Be happy, baby. You won a championship. Hell, I wish I could win a championship in something.
I think I'm just more annoyed with the race right now. But yeah, it's a lot of fun. Means a lot. these guys are like really tough. A lot of these guys are super good. So even just to get a couple wins this year in the summer series was a big deal for me. And then to like come away with a championship is even bigger.
Well, great job throughout this entire summer series. You've been pretty much the favorite. I mean, at least the favorite in my mind of every race that we've gone to, basically just from the word go. And also, Jake and I both made you our pick for tonight. So, that might explain the early wreck and everything. But hey, you still finished second.
There it is.
You still finished second. You still won the championship. So the big question is, because we know that IndyCar is going to be in the fall season, you going to go out there and you going to back up this championship with another one in the fall?
Oh, I'm going to try. I'm 100% going to try. I think the schedule is going to be a lot different than what it was for the summer series. So when that comes out, I got to do a lot of practicing. But it's going to be a ton of fun. I hope a ton of people come out from the league. I hope it's not just like the same me, Tyler, Eddie, Jake, and like the normal guys. I hope it's everyone in the league comes out and races it.
Regis Clark, buddy. I mean, real quick, one more question, and and then we'll transition that to your sponsors and shout outs. I mean, you mentioned this race. This race is annoying. Eddie Smith more or less said the same thing. Why was this race not? Because honestly, we looked at this. This race was wild. I mean, I thought it was wild. I mean, everybody was going everywhere 9 ways to Sunday. But why? I mean, why do y'all feel like that this race annoyed y'all?
I think once Tyler, jumped up front and showed everyone the line, that bottom line for the leader, there's nothing Tyler could do with Eddie with like 30 to go. I took a spot with 20 to go. Nothing I could do. I got like a couple runs where maybe coming to the line it would have been a photo finish, but that was probably like 3 laps in the making that I had to set that up. There's just no way to get past the leader.
So you're just annoyed by the whole race. Is that what it was?
No. My right leg was shaking the last like 20 laps with I didn't lift. Not annoyed by the wreck. I was actually trying to back out when Tyler sent it 3 wide. And then I don't know what happened. I gotta go back and look at it. And then that last caution, if it hadn't came out, I would have been good on fuel, and I think everyone else would have had to pit one more time. But I mean, really, just like the passing. Like I think I passed. I don't know who it was. Made one pass for 4th, and it took me about 5 laps to set him up. So just real tough.
Hey, you know what? Hell with it. That's close enough. That's close enough. That's close enough. We may end up having beef right here. Why not? For the last one of the summer series here with Lincoln Tech, I had to do it. Regis, buddy, congratulations on the championship, buddy. Appreciate your time. And before we let you go, you got any sponsors need shout outs?
Yeah, obviously Lincoln Tech for sponsoring the series. It's a great car. We had a ton of fun this summer series. Save 22, doing a lot of stuff for vets. The Indiana Department of Veteran Affairs teamed up with Goat Locker, doing a lot for the veterans. Jam Printing and Promotion. Obviously, V-Speed. You guys have put on an amazing broadcast this summer series. I usually go back and watch it. I'll probably watch it tonight or tomorrow. Alexander PCs. And then obviously, even though my 2 teammates didn't decide not to show up tonight, they have, families and work they have to do. That's less important. Mike Browning and Jake Ham with Black Sheep Racing.
Well, how about that? Champ of Lincoln. I just now caught his neck of what he said out of that. It might sense it took me a second, but the champ is here. Regis Clark, Lincoln Tech IndyCar champion, buddy. Congratulations on the championship. Appreciate your time. And we will see you next season when the IndyCars come to life for the fall series, sir.
Yeah, thank you guys.
That was Regis Clark taking a shot at his teammates right there. A little bit dangerous. Sometimes you got to take shots at your teammates, just like we take shots at each other up here in the booth. But Daniel, buddy, it's been a long ride. It's been, about 8 weeks, buddy. It's been a good one all the way through this. I might have missed one race, obviously, with the birth of my son. But, for the other 7 weeks, buddy, it has been an absolute pleasure sitting here calling races with you, buddy. Hopefully we can do it again. We'll see how the fall series schedule stacks up with V-Speed, but your take not only on Nashville Super Speedway, but a awesome season with the Lincoln Tech IndyCar Series.
Yeah, you're absolutely right. These drivers, just put on a great show from the first race all the way through to the last one. They've made it really easy to call these races and to really get entertainment out of it. And working with as much as it might pain me to say this sometimes, working with Lucas has been a lot of fun. Working with you has been a lot of fun. Ken Huber, the week that he filled in for you, and you missed the shenanigans at Sebring. It's been a real pleasure to be up here in the booth with y'all, to be able to watch this, to get to see these drivers go out and put on a show every week. So I'm with you. Looking forward to seeing what the fall has. Hopefully we get to line this up and do it again together at some point. I definitely wouldn't oppose that. So it's just, it's just been a great season, and congrats to Regis on bringing it home with the championship.
Absolutely. And real quick, he doesn't get a whole lot of, talk time, so we'll open the floor to the producer, Lucas Lyons, because he's always the one behind the production, the one that gives you all the crazy cameras, all the cool stuff that you see. You hear a lot of me and Daniel, but you never hear from Lucas. Lucas, buddy, your take on the Lincoln Tech IndyCar Series. And, buddy, I got to be honest with you, you are one of the best producers in the business. You done a hell of a job this season, buddy.
We put Lucas on the spot, and then we put him on the spot. Now he can't even talk.
I got it. All right. So it's been a lot of fun. I wasn't expecting to talk tonight, so I didn't have it set up. It's been a lot of fun working with you all. I enjoyed making the little snippets for the fans, and hopefully everyone enjoyed it. You all have been amazing to work with. I know during commercials we like to kind of cut up with each other a little bit, and I know I kind of send jokes in the little group chat that we have, and y'all end up saying some of them and stuff like that. But hopefully we do this again. They made it really easy for you all, and for me as a producer, just trying to get all the action. But I think it's been a great season. Congrats on Regis for getting the championship. I know he worked really hard for that, and hopefully we'll be able to work together again in the near future.
Absolutely, buddy. I mean, it's been an absolute pleasure working with you guys. Can't wait to see what we got going on for the fall series. Regis Clark gets it done, gets the championship. We'll see if he can somewhat defend that title in the fall series on the IndyCar side. Here with Goat Locker, still getting the final touches lined up with the fall series. So make sure you like and subscribe to V-Speed. Keep up with everything going on with Goat Locker, and get with Patrick, Jamie Barkus, get with those guys. Try to get everything lined up to maybe jump out here and get to racing with some of the best that Goat Locker has to offer. Well, folks, that's going to do it for this broadcast here live on V-Speed. Want to give a huge shout out to all our amazing sponsors here with Goat Locker. Without them, none of this could be possible. Obviously, Lincoln Tech, Save 22, Jeb Printing and Promotions, Cruising Classics, Hidden Wit Brewery, Invets, Nasty's Restaurant and Bar, Glove Station, Above the Yellow Line, and also with iRacing, because if it wasn't for iRacing, none of this would be possible. Shout out to every single one of the drivers for coming out, and the fans for always coming out in big numbers and supporting Goat Locker, supporting V-Speed, and supporting virtual racing any way that you know how. And obviously, shout out to Patrick Drabick, Jamie Barkus, Goat Locker, for allowing us to be ourselves, come in here and broadcast the races. And also, a huge shout out to Eddie Smith for entrusting me, Daniel, Lucas on these broadcasts here on V-Speed every single Wednesday night. For OLL, Lucas Lyons, and for Daniel D. Cunningham, I'm the Redneck Announcer, Jake Reeves, said as always, say, be safe, be kind, be fast. Regis Clark wins the championship. How will he fare in the fall series? Tune in on V-Speed to find out for the fall series with Goat Locker. It's going to be a good one. It's going to be heating up in the fall time. Can't wait to see you on the other side.